it's not the goal to work 20 out of 24 hours of your life, of your day. It's not the goal. That is not the goal. The goal is to, of course, there will be times where you have to sacrifice. Trust me, I'm not saying don't sacrifice. I'm not saying don't do what you need to do when it calls for it. But it's not the goal to make it a habit of the 20 out of 24. The goal is to put a system in place to be able to get your time back, get your life back. The goal is to be able to not be a zombie throughout your life. The goal is to be able to spend time with your family, spend time with your friends, whomever you love, whoever brings you joy, whoever you're able to pour love into and get joy from that. That's the goal. Blessings, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of the Will the World podcast. I had a completely different topic in mind, but then when I sat down, the good Lord talked to me and he was like, we should pivot and we should make this podcast about the death of the old me, right? I believe in our evolution. Our old versions of ourselves die off and we step into new life as new being, new purpose, new mindset, you know, new spirit, same soul, but new spirit. And I feel as though that's what I'm stepping into right now. I feel as though I'm stepping into new life, new spirit, renewed energy. You know, I had a moment last week in which I was extremely tired and just low, you know. Wasn't feeling it. It was just one of those days. And what I've come to realize is that energy isn't a physical thing. Like if you have low energy, it's not because you're physically tired, it's because your spirit is low. If you have low energy, that means your spirit is low. And me knowing that or believing in that, I acknowledged it and I immediately made a decision to be better, to pick my spirits up. Oftentimes I spend a lot of time picking the spirits up of other people. I dedicate a lot of my being, my existence, which is also my purpose, to serving others. So within serving others, it's very easy to forget about yourself. It's very easy to serve everybody around you and not serve yourself at all. And I have a habit of that. I I acknowledge I am Justin Darrell Williams, and I do not take care of myself. I take care of everybody else. And I want to put an end to that. I want to be better and do better and really take care of myself in a way that I've been needing to for a long time. And I think last week was a bit of burnout. I believe it was a bit of being not only mentally drained, but spiritually and emotionally drained as well. And because one thing I realized is one thing I realized is that you can have things going in your favor, but it doesn't mean that it won't drain you. Oftentimes we associate being drained or exhausted with like negative things that are happening in your life. Like maybe you're just having and not even a bad day because the entire day is not bad, but maybe you've had bad moments or not so great outcomes throughout different parts of your day, and you're just like, oh, not this again, not that again, and you're just tired of going through stuff or things not going the way that you planned or envisioned. So oftentimes we associate being drained and exhausted by failures, disappointments, things not going our way, or us feeling like we need a break. But what I realized is you can have things working in your favor and still be drained by everything that goes into the things working in your favor. Like, for example, I have so many ideas. I have so many things to do, so many things that need to be done immediately, at least in my mind. So many things that can be done over the course of, an extended period of time, but we still need to make daily deposits with those things. Um, and things that I'm working towards for the future. So, with all that being said, all of these moving parts, all like if you saw my to-do list, you'll be like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why would anybody have a to-do list that long? Um, it could be overwhelming, even with you having the ability and being blessed and being favored to be able to check those things off the list. The things are still processes that require a certain amount of energy, require a certain amount of attention, a certain amount of intention, a certain amount of focus, that does take away. And I think that even if you are in a position where you're doing all the things that you want to do and you're making progress with certain things, and not even just incremental progress, but like huge leaps. Um, because you're expending energy, you're expending time, you're expending what you have in order to accomplish those things. You may be doing it at such a rate that you're not able to properly replenish as you're going. So, if you're just like even with your phone, for example, if you're using your phone all day, you're going to be draining your battery. It's inevitable. You're using your phone all day, you're draining your battery. And if you have zero time to even put it on the charger for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, then the battery is going to die. You're going to run the phone to the ground. And oftentimes I find myself running myself to the ground. And that's what I experienced last week. Just woke up and I actually got some rest. Like, if anybody knows me, y'all know I go off for like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Like, if I get 6 hours of sleep, that's like vacation, right? But that night, the night before, I had gotten like a nice amount of sleep. So I wasn't physically tired. That's how I know that I was just more so exhausted and just maybe just a little overwhelmed, and my spirit was low, just from, like I said, being overwhelmed and doing too much and not taking care of myself. So I vowed, and if let me say this first. If you are somebody who has the same problem that I do, because it is a problem, like, trust me, it's good things come from it, like everything. There's good and bad, yin and yang. So good things come from it, but it is a problem. So if you are like me, and you run yourself to the ground, you work yourself to death crazy, and you don't properly take care of yourself, you don't properly find a way to unplug by plugging into something else, taking your mind off things, stepping away from the daily deposits that you're making towards your dreams, your goals, your ambitions. If you're like that, like me, I need you to vow with me right now and vow that you are going to be different. You are going to take care of yourself. You are going to keep yourself in mind first, even when you are serving others. You need to serve yourself first. You need to put the mask on before assisting anybody else. It's important. You can't properly take care of others. You can't properly do the things that you want to do. You can't be at your highest level in your highest state if you are not taking care of yourself. You may think that you're at optimal state because you've trained and conditioned yourself to be able to run on fumes, but you would be that much better if you just found the time to really take care of yourself and be better about making time for yourself and recharging and hitting the reset button, you know. And like I said, I'm speaking to you, but I'm really speaking to me at the same time. So we're gonna enter this new phase, this new chapter together. The old me of not taking care of myself is dead and gone. The new me is going to replenish and rejuvenate and regenerate and be ready to go for tomorrow, because I've also found that me running on fumes is it's not the maximum effort. It's not the maximum output. Like, I'm getting things done, like I said, but it could always be better. And it starts with me being better. It starts with you being better. You know, it's not, it's no longer a thing to be proud of. Like, it used to be, like, you wear it with a sense of pride. Like, yeah, like, man, I pull all nighters. Man, yeah, I'm up late while they sleep. I'm up late. It's 3 in the morning. No, that's that's not the goal. It's it's not the goal to work 20 out of 24 hours of your life, of your day. It's not the goal. That is not the goal. The goal is to, of course, there will be times where you have to sacrifice. Trust me, I'm not saying don't sacrifice. I'm not saying don't do what you need to do when it calls for it. But it's not the goal to make it a habit of the 20 out of 24. The goal is to put a system in place to be able to get your time back, get your life back. The goal is to be able to not be a zombie throughout your life. The goal is to be able to spend time with your family, spend time with your friends, whomever you love, whoever brings you joy, whoever you're able to pour love into and get joy from that. That's the goal. So let's kill this idea of overworking ourselves just for the purpose of working and saying I'm the hardest worker. Like, yeah, but you can also be the smartest worker. You can also be the most efficient person. You can also be your best self without working like a, what is it, a rant mule? Like, is that the saying? Like, country rant mule, working yourself like a rant mule. Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. We're not doing that anymore. It's time for us to be better. It's time for us to be. It's interesting. I just thought about this. It's time for us to be more selfish so we could be more selfless. So we put ourselves first so we could be able to better serve others. That's the goal. That's the mission. Take care of yourself, people. It's important. It's important. Peace and love.